Now, is it okay or facing the same issue? Now, is it okay? Okay then. Okay. Now answer this question. In hooks, how we can pass the data from my child to parent? In hooks, how we can pass the data from my child to parent? Answer it. How we can pass the data? By using use reducer only or not? By using use reducer only or not? Because we are managing the state at application level. My child put the data within the store. My parent get the data from the store or not? Here there is no hierarchy, nothing. Okay, anybody can share the data to anyone or not. So by using use reducer, if anyone asks the question, just see, you know the topic, but you have to use the topic wherever based on your requirement. Okay, come on, let's next. Come on, here. This one should be changed. Okay, like salary 20,000 and increment salary button like that. So how we can? So this part should not be hard code or not. This part should not be hard code. My age and my value both should be text and value should be dynamic or not. So to my employee info component, can we ask some data from outside? Which data? My text comma value is or no? My text and this is for your value or not. So my employee info, okay, requires how many props? My text. What is the text? Line number text should be what is. What is the value? My value should be 30 or not. Here, what is my text? My should be 20,000 or not. Now, can I save it? Can I refresh my page? Yeah, save it. Age and salary. Now, this part I want to change it. Can anyone? Another way, tell me. How many ways we can pass the data to the component? One is like through attributes, another one. One is like through attributes, another one. Can anyone guess? One is like through attributes, another one. If you want to pass the data to the component, how many ways we can pass the data to the component? One is like while loading, we can pass as an attribute format. Another one is like what? As a children, right? As a children. This is my button component. Can we pass some data? Increment is whatever you pass as a children to this component. See, open and close. In between, we can say like what? Content or children or not. So my button component get this data or not. How we can get the data? Children data, how we can get it inside the component? If you pass a children data, how we can get it inside the component? By using which prop? By using which prop? By using a predefined prop, children or not. Children or not. Okay. Now can we load that children? Can we load that children? Now can I refresh my page? Yeah. Salary 20,000, increment salary. Agreed. Now see, if I refresh my page, first my title component loaded, employee info component loaded, button component loaded, okay, employee info loaded again, button loaded. This employee info for what? Okay, salary. This button for what? Salary. Can we differentiate with the text? So this is my employee info. Okay, can I write something like this text? Okay, this is my button. Can we write something like this? Now, if you come here in the console message, see employee info loaded for what is, button loaded for what increment is, employee info loaded for what salary, button loaded for what increment salary or not. First time load, all are expected only. Yes. Okay, done. Perfect. Now come to our requirement. At the time of clicking on this particular button, okay, increment is button. I want to increment the is 30 to 31. Next click 32 like that. Increment plus 1. If I click on the salary, just I want to increment plus 1,000, 20,000 like 21, 22 like that. That's my requirement. Can anyone tell what code changes you want? What code change you want? This 30 and 20,000 hard coded or not required? It should not be hard coded. This data be given to my employee info like a hard-coded value. But now onwards, based on your requirement, is it like a hard-coded data? Or keep on changing based on the button click? It's keep on changing based on the button click or not. So it should not be hard-coded. Okay, you should hold with one variable. That variable should be what? That whatever the values are there, that value changes has to reflect within the browser is nothing but what? That should be the state variable or not. So can we create one state variable by using what? So, default value. Okay, this is my yes. The next thing is like set it's or not. How many state variables are there? Like this, how many state variables are there? Can anyone? Like this, how many state variables are there? This is my salary. Salary is another state variable. Default salary is like 20,000 or not. So don't hold for that values. Can we replace that values, hard-code values with one variable reference? Done. So it's okay. There is no value. Next. The time of clicking on the button. Where is my button? Tell me exactly my HTML button available at which line? Which line we return that button? Where is my button? My button line number 26. This is only my button or not? This is only the button. In this particular, okay, in this element only we can raise, we can trigger an event or not. So at the time of clicking on the button out. At the time of clicking on the button, I want like this button is common for increment salary and increment yes. At the time of clicking on this particular button, 37, then the time I want to execute one of the method which is going to increment your age or not. So here can we write one method constant function increment age, open one and close one. This is used for what? To increment your age plus one or not. Now this is the another one. This is the another one. Increment the salary. Increment salary. Okay, my set salary is like what? My salary plus 1,000 or not? Salary plus 1,000 or not? Now tell me. This method has to execute when at the time of clicking on this particular button. So how we can give this method to this guy to execute? Can anyone guess? This method has to execute at the time of clicking on this particular button. This method has to execute at the time of clicking on this particular button. So you have to give this method to some other person. That person is going to call with difference is nothing but what? Callback or not. So these two methods acting like callbacks or not. So can we give this method to this guy button? Can we give this method to this guy for this particular button? Okay, how we can give it? Okay, function increment. Okay, what increment? Function increment is or not? Function increment is. Okay, here also this is the common button is like common. The method, my callback methods are different or not? Function increment salary or not? See, these two, this one and this one, both go to your button or not? With which key? Same key, function increment or not? So it's like a prop. So can we get that prop? Yes. Now this function increment sometimes like a function increment is, sometimes like a function increment salary or not. Now can you come here? Okay. Now if I click on this one, yeah, my functionality executed or not? Working as expected or not? If I click on this one, my functionality working as expected or not? But one thing you can find here. First time load that has 5 components loaded, agreed. Why? Because these all content has to be visible to the end user so that those component has to load within the browser. Now if I click on the increment is it required to load again all these components? Is it required to load again all these components? Is it the recommended one? Yes. If it is loaded also, it is not impact on my performance. Because if it is like a DOM changes, it's not impact on my performance. So because my virtual DOM will take care. Which part is going to change, that changes only push it to browser, remaining all will never touch. Okay, my virtual DOM will take care. But why we need to call again? Not required, right? Not required. Then how we can handle? Okay, if I click on this one, you are performing the operation increment AS and AS31. These two accepted. These three I don't want. I don't want. Then how we can? Okay, first one, say this. If you observe here, this is my component. This is my component. It's like a hard-coded data. Next time, if you made any changes, then that time reload it. If the changes are not there, the changes are not there, then that time why we need to allow him to reload? Don't allow him to reload. Okay, component level, if you not do any changes, okay, the changes are not happen. The previous we have some stuff, okay, the new one also the same. Okay, both are like same. Okay, the previous DOM and new DOM both are like same. That means there is no changes, nothing. Then that time don't allow him to re-render again. Don't allow him to re-render again. Okay, if you observe here, first time my name is like Naresh. The second time also my content is like H3 name Naresh. There is no change at all. Then the time why we need to allow him to re-render. So how we can, okay, how we can stop this re-rendering if that changes are not happened. Okay, the DOM changes are not happened. Why we need to re-render? Okay, how we can prevent this re-rendering means component level. If you want to handle the performance issues, this type of issues. If you take a function component, we have one method is there, memo, react.memo method. So this is my component, right? This is my component, right? Just component, keep inside react.memo method. That's so better. Okay, any number of components are there. Okay, no problem. Just enclose with react.memo. Okay, if there is no changes, nothing is there in that time, automatically he will take care of re-rendering. Okay, re-rendering, he is going to ignore it. Okay, now can you come here? See, if I refresh my page, first time 5 components agreed. First time, okay, all these are agreed. If you come here, just go on increment this. Okay, what do you understand? Employee info loaded is yes. This one. You click on the button. Okay, that button triggered. Okay, button loaded increment yes is okay. Here there is no changes or happen inside this component. Okay, because of my react.memo, this re-rendering is not happen. My increment salary also I don't want. My increment salary also don't want. Still it is there or not? Still it is there. So how we can prevent this button re-rendering also? Increment salary I don't want. Why this increment salary render multiple times means here. Here the button, the same component used. Okay, we are passing like with the same key, we pass like this function. Okay, which function? This is one callback, this is another callback. Two callback functions we are passing with the same reference or not? Same reference you are passing or not? Here, at the time of clicking on this particular button, he is calling a reference like what function increment or not. That is binary with this one and this one, so that that particular button is going to render for what? Yes, as well as that particular button is going to render for what? Salary also or not? You are passing like the callbacks with the same reference or not? Okay, here different reference if you put, then the time here handling is not possible. Then how I can handle this type of things? These are the callbacks. You are passing these two callbacks with with same what? Same key or not? Okay, you may get this problem. This type of scenarios, we have the same component, we are passing the callbacks with the same reference. Here we are calling the same reference. You are calling same reference is nothing, but in this case you are like what? There has two different methods or not? Okay, so that here also it's going to re-render, here also re-render. So how we can overcome this problem? It's very simple, by using callback code. How means just you can write like react.use callback. Which callback method is there? Keep the callback method. Okay, and then the dependencies are there. This callback has to execute for which state change is or not. Okay, that particular dependency you have to pass it. Okay, here also you can write like use callback. The second one is like the dependencies list. This should have to execute for what? Salary or not. Okay, like this you can keep it. The callbacks you are passing the same reference. Better to keep these callbacks inside use callback. Okay, and then the callback method used for what? To update which state variable. Okay, operating on which state variable. That state variable you can pass like what? Pass like a dependency. Now if you come here, first term 5 is okay. Now increment yes, so this is expected only or not. Okay, now increment salary. Okay, now if I click on increment salary, there is no impact on this one. If I click on this, okay, this is not impact on this one or not. Great. This is the way my use callback is going to work. Where exactly we are using like use callback React memo. React memo is always works at what? Component level. React memo is always works at component level. Okay, my use callback always works at what? Function level. This function is acting like what? Callback function only or not. So because you are giving this function to some other person, button in this case, that is going to call with another reference or not. That's the way it's going to work. Understand? Okay, React memo always works at component level. Use callback always works at function level. Now one more hook is there. Use memo, not memo, React memo. React.use memo hook. Okay, that is works at variable level. Okay, how it is going to impact? See this. One slide. Use. Okay, my requirement is like my requirement is this is my component. Okay, here inside this component one button is there, simple button. Okay, my button has some content. Okay, has some content like this. This is my button. Okay, value for example 0. Value for example 0. First time value is like 0. If I click on this one, the value turn to be 1. Okay, here my value should be 1. If I click on 2, value should be 2. Now the value is like 0. Okay, 0 is like which type of number? Even number, right? You can write like even number. Even. If I click again, the value should change like what? Value 1. My 1 is like what? Odd number or not? My 1 is like a odd number or not? See this. The button value should be like this. Value 0. Value 0 first time. If I click on the button, okay, value 0 is okay. 0 is even number or odd number? Even number. Just you can put it. If I click on this one, value should be changed like 1. Change like 1. Okay, that is even number or odd number? Odd number. Okay, odd number. Like this. This is one part. This is one functionality. Okay, this functionality we managed with which value? This 0 value or not? That is one variable value. Okay, managed with this one. Now you can create one more value. Okay, simple value you can take it. Okay, count. Okay, here increment count on button. Okay, count. How many values or how many variables are there? One of the variables is this one. We are managing with state variable. Okay, state. Okay, that changes also happen. Another variable is this one. Okay, this is also one more variable. If I click on the button, that variable value has to increment like this. Now, how this variable impact the performance, impact on this particular variable, we'll see. Okay, this variable has to impact on this particular variable. Can you hear me? Can anyone confirm I'm audible or not? Can anyone confirm? Yeah, audible, right? Okay, perfect. Okay, see, you made some changes here. This particular variable value should impact on this particular variable value while displaying. Okay, now This is my view. My view should be like this: one button, here also one more button, here also one more button. This is the another button. Okay, if I click on the button, the value has to change. Okay, if my value change, then the time that based on that value, there has some result is going to print, even or odd. Okay, this is one more button. If I click on the button, just that value has to increment. Okay, now we'll check how this variable impacts this particular variable value. Okay, at the time of clicking on this particular button, this value has to increment, right? Because of this one, okay, there has some lag or there has some performance issues there to display this particular value. How we can, we'll see. How we can overcome, we'll see that. First of all, do this. Okay, my view should be like this. Now come here within the same component only. Now memo. Okay, right. How many state variables are required in this? How many variables are required? How many variables are required? Use state 0. Use state. Two variables are required. One is like another one is like value. Evolution. Okay, based on this value, I have to find like is it even number or odd number. Okay, this is the one. The next one is like set. Okay, done. Now here, what button is there? So my value is like that. Close my button. Out here, my count is this one. Okay, I have one more button is there. Okay, increment count. Here, both buttons are having got on clicks. So that I write like on click. Okay, what is that? Function increment. Function increment count. What do you want me to do? Set count. My count plus 1 or not. The next one is what like this only. Another method. Function increment value. Okay, here my set value is like what? My val plus 1. My value plus 1. Now check function. Constant function. Check some functionality. Okay, in this case, my functionality is like check that number is like even or odd. Okay, function check. Okay, this is the one. Here, just you can write if my count or value is divided by 2, then the time is like even. 2 minutes. Huh? Yeah, I'm back. Okay. Now this is my count. Here function check value is %2. Then that time it's like even number. Otherwise it's like odd number. Simple. Okay. That result I want to show here. That result. Okay. Just H1 and close my H1. Can anyone tell how you can show the result? Function check is there, right? You can call that function. That's it. You can call that function. See how it looks like. Okay, first even number. Okay, this value you didn't write. On click, where is that? On click is not there, right? Can we write like on click function increment value. Okay, now come here. Can I refresh my page? That's it. Hard. Okay, hard. Okay, working as expected or not? Now increment count. Okay, so far there is no impact, nothing. If I click on this one, immediately this value also changed. This is visible to the end user. If I click on this one, this value also changes. See this? There is no impact, nothing. Now what I'm doing is function checker. It's like a functionality. It's not like a one line of code. For example, it take like minimum 1 minute time. Okay, to get the result. Okay, minimum 1 minute time is nothing but minimum 1000 or 2000 lines of code is required. That much code I don't have, so that lag you can do like this: I equals 0, I less than or equals to. Okay, like this we can do it. I plus plus. It's a synchronous one. My for loop is always synchronous. Why? Because once this loop repetition everything is completed, then only it comes to the next line or not. It's a synchronous. So that it take how much time? Minimum. Okay, 30 milliseconds or 40 milliseconds is going to take to complete this loop or not. Now, can I refresh my page? If I click on this one, okay, I think it's not safe. Okay, implement this. Go to console. Okay, what is this one? Okay, syntax wrong, right? Syntax wrong. Also correct? Syntax. Mistake is so much. Okay, if I click on this one, see, okay, did you find some lag? If I click on this one, see, okay, it is expected only, right? Because to complete that functionality, to check that number is even number or odd number, to check that functionality, it takes some time. So that I'm expecting the lag here, no problem at all. So because 20,000 lines of code has to execute and finally it has to return the result even or odd. But here the thing is, if I click on increment count, see this. If I click on increment count, okay, see, I clicked 4 times. See, after some time, that lag is applied on this particular value change also or not? Yes or no? See, I clicked, I came out. See, after some time, my value got changed or not. That means this particular value change is affected on this particular value or not. Why? Because if you made any state change, okay, the first this one is going to execute and then this one is going to execute. It takes so much time, like 40 milliseconds or something. After that, it will come here. After that, this one is going to execute or not, like this. Okay, it should not happen like that because only the count, okay, only this value should impact, right? Because this value only, right, got changed because of this result. This value only got changed, right? If you made any change here based on that value only, right, this result is going to change. Okay, this particular functionality is like different and this functionality is like different or not. Okay, it should not impact on my count or not. Then how we can means one variable is there, that variable functionality, it should not affect on remaining all variables. Like that I have to write the code or not. Then how we can means very simple thing. First of all, because of which function we get the lag? Because of which function? Where my functionality, total functional, where is my functionality? Okay, because of this function check only or not. Find that function. Okay, now that functionality affected by which variable? Because of this variable change only or not? Which function? Because of which variable? Okay, that changes are going to affect. That means because of this change only, right? This value change only, right? My result is going to impact. Those two you can find it. Okay, now you have to do one thing. You have one hook is there. Yeah, use memo is my hook. Okay, first write that hook. Keep your functionality in that particular hook only. And then the dependencies is like because of which value? Because of this value change only, right? Okay, this particular result is going to change like either even or odd. Okay, this result is impact on another variable change also or not. Okay, so that one is like which functionality, that means which function has functionality lagging one. Another one is like because of which value change that result is going to change, okay, even or odd, like that. You have to find those two inputs. Once it is done, now this is my function change, right? My React use memo returns me what you know, okay, a function. Returns me a function call. There is no need to call again. Returns me a function call. There is no need to call. Just you can place that function now. Function name you can place it. Function name you can place it. Now if you come here and refresh my place. Okay, now here it's okay fine. Here it's okay fine. Here it's okay fine. Now if I click on this one, see this? Is there an impact? Is there an impact? Did you find any impact on my next variable CNT? There is no impact or not. Like this. The use memo is going to work at which level? Variable level. Use fallbacks works at functions level. React memo is going to work at component level. These are like performance related stuff. Understand? Okay. Okay then, I already provided you the video still yesterday. I already added in the content.txt file. Just go through that one. Tomorrow onwards, there is no classes. Tomorrow and next day also. First, second, third, there is no classes. Fourth, okay, we are going to take like long session, so that fourth at 8 a.m. you can join. Same timings you can join. Fourth and fifth. Okay, these 3 days we can use for just practice what we discussed till today, day 1 onwards. If you get any questions, okay, just note it down. Each and every person, note it down. Just ask in the next class. Either 4th or 5th.
Sir, is this all, sir? The entire syllabus is covered, sir?
Yeah, more 95% covered. Only test cases are there. I will tell that.
Sir, like in class components, we were writing the code in different files, but here now you showed all the code we are writing in.
I will tell that one. In different files also you can write it manually. Here you have to write. Okay, here you have to write one for the import CSS file here, like that. I will tell in the web pack.
Oh, you will explain that on 4th?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Don't stick with one process. Like, okay, somebody is going to write like manually one JSX file, one CSS. Okay, somebody use like create React component. Somebody use like only one file. They are going to write all the CSS. They are going to manage in one file. Okay, different people are following different approaches.
Okay. Like I've seen some people using generate React component or something that starts with generate. Any leads on this, sir?
It's not like that. Okay, if you want to get like functional component, okay, REFC one, just key you can say, okay, shortcut key. Then the time you can get that function. You can get that function instead of writing this one. Okay. Writing this one, you can get like skeleton of this particular component. Okay, I will tell that one. Okay, generate that type of things are not there, but if it is third party one, okay, one library you can add it, you can get that skeleton boilerplate code.
So for to get the boilerplate code for hooks, functional components, we have to use one more library, you're saying, is that right?
Yeah, you can use, that is an extension, you can say. Okay, Visual Studio Code extensions. Okay, if you add that extension, then the time you can get that shortcut. Okay, one shortcut key you can get it. You can get this function, that's it. Okay, how the boilerplate code for this means, this is like this constant app open one and close one, return one, two. This is the boilerplate code, that's it. More than that, nothing.
Okay.
Okay. Most of the time, just we are going to raise that one. Okay, just focus on.
Okay. So you mean to say that in projects that are using functional components, there will not be a keen separation usually. they write everything in a
There is
single.
nothing. Just they are going to write like constant something, and then whatever the function. See, if you observe here, how much code is common for all? This much. This is only common for all, right?
Yeah.
This is only common for all. Okay, remaining whatever you written, that is everything is depending upon your functionality only or not. Okay, here if it is like a class component, 4 files are there. Okay, I don't want to create each and every time. In this case, there is nothing. It's nothing. So that most of the times they prefer like just take copy paste or rewrite this code. That's it. Understand or not?
Okay. Like we were using like utils, like just in Redux we were maintaining separate files, like
Yeah,
to
that
maintain
one
the
I will tell.
constant.
Yeah, that one I will tell. That one I will
Okay.
tell. Okay, that there has one webpack for application is there. Okay, that one I will show you.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, that is the one. Just focus on this particular functionality. Okay, topics first. Focus on topics. Okay, whatever I am following the approach, that means okay, this is the files and folders I have to keep in utils. Okay, another one is like shared. Okay, the next, if you go to the next company, they may follow another approach. Okay, it's not like common. It's not like common. Okay, we are following like init files and everything. We are going to put like utils, and shared one we are going to write like server call. The file names and everything keep on changing. Okay, one project, another one, company to company. Okay, their standards are maybe different, but the concept, the way of writing the code is like same.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, any other questions? So I will upload this one in JS tab. Just download and work on it. If you find any new topics, okay, just let me know. We'll cover.
So next class is on Saturday, 8 o'clock, right?
Yeah, Saturday 8 o'clock. Saturday and Sunday will take.
Okay. And the sample project you said, I mean, you'll be giving some requirements.
Okay, I'll give you that one. I will add here. I have one requirement is there, like online shopping. Okay, you can try that one.
Do you have the, I mean, is that project already worked out where we have the example here, something
not
like
worked
that?
out. I have the document. You have to start. Okay, otherwise I will show you one project what we already done. Okay, that code is not shareable.
Oh.
Okay, that project I will show you what we done. Okay, just take your own requirement. Just you can start. Okay, by using this topic. Okay, whatever we discussed in the class, that is enough to crack minimum 3 years of experience. You can put like minimum 3 years of experience. That is enough. Okay, again I'm telling JavaScript is very, very important. JavaScript. What we discussed in the class, that is enough. These many topics we discussed, right? These all are enough. These all are enough. More than. So just you can put your resume with fake phone number, fake email ID. Just create one fake email ID and take one phone number. Just upload your resume with shortcut name. For example, Rajshekar, your name. Put like Ross. Okay, like this you can put it. Just check how many calls you are getting, which type of questions they are asking, in React. What is the interview process? Where they are on which topics they concentrate, like JavaScript or React or HTML and CSS. Like this, you can come to know, right? Okay, instead of putting like directly, okay, your original phone number and everything, just try. Okay, create one fake Gmail. Okay, take one phone number. Okay, just upload your resume. Put like 2 years of experience. Okay, just keep that resume minimum for 1 week like that. 1 week like that. Just you can check how many calls you're getting, which type of questions they are asking. Okay, in the industry, okay, what is the requirement for React? Okay, how many calls you can get it? Okay, you can check like that. Okay, first prepare and then put your resume. Just upload your resume in Naukri. Naukri is enough. Okay, any other questions? So while developing, if you face any issues or something, just let me know. Or just you can mail it. Just you can mail it. Whatever the code you written, I'm facing this issue. Or just can you check once, like that you can mail it. I will respond. This is my email ID. You can find in ui.com. Just GP your code without node modules and tell me the problem. Okay, here exactly I'm facing the issue. Like that you can say. Okay, I will run your code in my machine and I will check. Okay. Any other questions? Node.js total course is not. Node.js already we discussed. Okay, total course not as part of ours. Node MySQL. This is the one, right? This is the one we discussed already. Okay, total node course not as part of our React course. Okay, node we are going to use for what? Only backend calls. So the next two are there. I will tell. Fourth and fifth is there, right? One is I'm using Node for PostgreSQL. Another one is I'm using for Node MongoDB. Okay, I will tell those two how to come. Okay, it's not like full-fledged. Okay, Node this. Okay, Node.js course I'm not taking. Okay, Node.js course I'm not taking separately. Node.js course I'm not taking separately. Okay, as part of this course, just we are like, okay, writing REST API calls. That's it. REST API calls. Okay, as part of this course. Full-fledged course I'm not taking. I'm taking only React. Okay. Okay, don't miss the fourth and fifth. Okay, fourth and fifth classes. Don't miss. Okay then. Thanks guys. Thanks for joining. Bye. I'll upload this one. Just you can download from JS. Just prepare. Come up with your questions. All the commands and everything is available here itself in the content page only. We placed. Okay, git commands, content in this particular txt file only. You can find all your commands. Okay then. Thanks guys.